Mr. Peabody's Apples by Madonna. In the town of Hatfield, which wasn't a very big town, Mr. Peabody was congratulating his Little League team on a great game. Mr. Peabody was the teacher at a local elementary school, and in the summertime he dedicated every Saturday to organizing baseball games. Billy Little, who wasn't a very big boy, was one of Mr. Peabody's students. After each game, he would always stay to help pick up the bats and balls. After, Mr. Peabody would start his walk home along the main street of Hatfield, which wasn't a very big street, waving hello to everyone he knew, and everyone would wave hello back. Along the way, he always passed Mr. Funkadeli's fruit market. He would pick out the shiniest apple, drop it in his bag, and continue on his way. Across the street, Tommy Tittlebottom watched with curiosity as Mr. Peabody walked away with the apple. "That's strange," Tommy thought to himself. Mr. Peabody didn't pay anyone for the apple. Tommy got on his skateboard and rushed to tell his friends. The following Saturday, Mr. Peabody's team played another game. Billy picked up the balls and bats, and Mr. Peabody set off on his walk home. He waved to everyone he knew, and they waved back. Once again, he stopped outside Mr. Funkadeli's fruit market, picked up the shiniest apple, dropped it in his bag, and continued on his way. Across the street, Tommy Tittlebottom and his friends watched Mr. Peabody. They were amazed at what they saw. Mr. Peabody had not paid for his apple. They couldn't wait to tell all of their friends, who told their parents, who told their neighbors, who told their friends in the town of Hatfield, which wasn't a very big town. The Saturday after that, Mr. Peabody was standing all alone on the baseball field, wondering where everyone was. Then he saw Billy walking toward him with a sad look on his face. "Hello, Billy. I'm glad you're here. But where's the rest of the team?" asked Mr. Peabody. "Everybody thinks you're a thief." Mr. Peabody looked confused. "Who says I'm a thief, Billy? And what did I steal?" "Tommy Tittlebottom and his friends said that you took an apple from Mr. Funkadeli's fruit market twice, and they said you didn't pay for them." "Ah," said Mr. Peabody. "Let's go and talk to Mr. Funkadeli about it, shall we?" They walked down the main street, which wasn't a very big street, and Mr. Peabody waved to all the people he knew, but now some of them did not wave back, and some pretended they did not even see him. They finally arrived at Mr. Funkadeli's fruit market. Mr. Peabody said, "I was wondering if I could take my apple earlier than usual." "Sure, why not?" replied Mr. Funkadeli. "You pay for them every Saturday morning when you pick up your milk." Billy looked up. "I have to go and find Tommy and explain everything. When you find him, ask him to come to my house. I would like to speak with him." A little while later, Billy found Tommy and told him what had happened with the apples. He told Tommy that Mr. Peabody wanted to speak to him right away. So off Tommy ran, and when he arrived, he rang the doorbell, and Mr. Peabody came to the door. "Mr. Peabody, I should not have said what I said, but it looked like you hadn't paid for the apples." Mr. Peabody's eyebrows went up a little. "It doesn't matter what it looks like. What matters is the truth. Tommy, meet me at the baseball diamond in 1 hour and bring a pillow stuffed with feathers." "Okay," said Tommy. An hour later, Tommy met Mr. Peabody. "Follow me and bring your pillow." Tommy followed Mr. Peabody to the top of the bleachers. "It's a windy day," said Mr. Peabody. "Here is a pair of scissors. Now cut the pillow and shake the feathers out." Tommy looked confused, but did it anyway. The wind carried the thousands of feathers far and wide. Mr. Peabody said, "Now you must go and pick up all the feathers." "I don't think it's possible to pick up all the feathers," Tommy replied. "It would be just as impossible to undo the damage that you have done by spreading the rumor that I am a thief. Each feather represents a person in Hatfield." There was a long pause as Tommy began to understand what Mr. Peabody was saying. Finally he said, "I guess I have a lot of work ahead of me." The end.